The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
And there's all this connection to Kenya and Kenyan parliament and people celebrating and acting like he was born there. I don't even know that. And then there's the theories and conspiracies. Well, perhaps his daddy really was Martin Luther or Malcolm X or something hideous like that. I mean, maybe he's trying to hide that. But like you said, that is the question. Okay, regardless of that crap, if it was anywhere else in America or Seattle or someplace in Kansas, why is everyone shutting it up?
Well, let me just remind your listeners of this. You said all of these theories about being born in Kenya, and I know that immediately people think, oh, you're just birthers. No, wait a minute. Barack Obama was the original birther. Before he ran for president, up until 2007, for 16 years prior to that, he listed on his biography everywhere he went, including the News Journal of the Harvard Law Review that he supposedly was the editor of, and his own publishers for the books that he published. He listed his birthplace as Kenya.
That's
and
right.
His publishers listed his birthplace as Kenya. And the Harvard Law Review listed his birthplace as Kenya.
So what in the world is that?
Barack Obama never changed that listing until 2007 when he started running for president. Then he started denying that he was born in Kenya.
How is that not evidence in a court against him?
Well, it is, and Zulo's holding all of it, and we're trying to get it before Congress. It's Congress' responsibility to investigate this and deal with it.
Oh, my word. We're talking with Carl Gallups, former investigator, law enforcement official, pastor, talk show host, author. He's right in the middle of this, folks, with Zulo and Sheriff Arpaio. Maybe the truth will finally get out. Carl, how can people listen to your show and learn more about your books?
Thank you. You're so kind to ask me that. Tell your audience, go to carlgallups.com. C-A-R-L is Carl, and Gallups is G-A-L-L-U-P-S. carlgallup.com. They can find out everything about me, my ministry, my show, the work in this Obama stuff, my book, The Magic Man in the Sky, Effectively Defending the Christian Faith, a #1 bestseller on Amazon.com. Been featured all over the world on television and radio. It was reviewed in the Washington Times, still on the bestsellers list a year and a half later on Amazon, The Magic Man in the Sky. They can go there and get that. It's in hardcover or Kindle.
When we come back, what would happen if a normal person who is president, if you and I were president and a whole lot of someone's questioned my birth certificate and eligibility to be president, wouldn't you do things other than shut down all of your records as this president has? I want to get your response. Carl, there really are a ton of plates spinning in the air, all scandalous, all conspiratorial, all criminal, connected to the heart of Obama. Benghazi, IRS scandal, all linked back to him and his agenda and enemies that have been targeted, NSA, violations here, violations there, and then Holder violating the very Zimmerman trial, for goodness sakes, trying to start riots around the country, and now there's continued push there, and now he's acting like, oh, there'll be a civil rights war, we're going to just push this some more. Criminality everywhere. When you look at this, do you see Congress doing their job, or are they being intimidated right now, or are they starting to rise up like Bravehearts?
Well, there's a handful that's starting to rise up. By and large, they have really, really dropped the ball on this. Some of it is because of pure ignorance. We've talked to congressmen about this that have looked at us like a deer in a headlight, and then they said, we didn't know anything about this. Some of them just pure ignorance. Others have been intimidated, and we've actually heard from media people. We've actually have affidavits from media people, high-ranking media people who have been intimidated, threatened by Obama operatives. Some of them have made the conscious choice to side with Obama. It wouldn't matter what Obama did. You know, he could commit a felony on the steps of the White House and full view, and they would still support him because he's their man. Others have just been wimpified about it. They've just been scared. They don't want to be marginalized. They don't want to have their, be name called. They're just wimps. And we have some men in Congress that are just wimps, in my opinion. So it's just a hodgepodge and a mixture of things, but we finally have some people standing up. But Lori, you and your listeners must keep this in mind. You just went through this litany of scandals, Benghazi and IRS and the gun running and the AP wiretapping and the NSA scandal and, spying on citizens and the immigration scandal and the drone scandal. I mean, on and on and on. But I'm telling your audience, this issue of who Obama is the scandal of scandals. It's the foundation of everything, because what if, Lori, that we have a dead ambassador and dead federal agents because of gun running, and a dead ambassador because of Benghazi, and citizens who've been put in prison like Colonel Lakin, officers, and citizens who have been spied on and having email, the IRS being used to attack citizens. What if all of this is being done by somebody who's not even an American citizen yet, who is the commander-in-chief of the number one superpower of the world? What if? Now, it might be that he is a U.S. citizen, but at this point, only Congress can make that determination. But what if, Lori, what if he's not? And right now, there's more evidence to suggest that he's not a U.S. citizen than there is to suggest that he is. This is the scandal of all scandals, Lori.
And right now, you can't mention names, but you're getting some interest finally from...
Well, no, some big interest. And I wanted to answer your question you asked a long time ago, and my long-winded answer...
We have 1 minute left. Give us what you can.
Okay, you asked when something was going to happen. We hope very, very soon, but we're asking people to be patient, because even if it takes 4, 5, 6, 7 more months, it's better than we've not had any action. But we've got to time this. We've got recesses, congressional recesses, et cetera, holidays. But we do have congressmen who are irate. They're looking into it. They're asking questions, and we think they're going to move it along.
Awesome. Thank you for your courage, Carl, and telling us, keep us up to breast about it.
Thank you, Dr. Lori.
God bless.
God bless.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.